Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade leaders for November, week 2. So our story from this week comes from Psalm 90, and the theme is teach us to number our days, and our bottom line is use your time wisely. And our life app for the month is stewardship, taking care of what you have because it all belongs to God. So our memory verse for this month is whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16:10. All right, so getting into your leader guide, just make sure that you're here at 8:30 and 10:30. Pray for your small group. Just pray for Oak Ridge kids in general. And just pray that kids begin to understand that even their time belongs to God and that we should spend our time on things that matter. Then when kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, ask kids about their week, get to know their names, make sure any first-time guests that you're making them feel especially welcome and connected to the group. And then some icebreaker questions are, what are ways that we measure time? What tools can we use to tell time? And how many songs can you name with time in the lyrics? That's going to be a hard one for our younger friends. So then our intro activity is called Before Time Runs Out. So you can pull up your timer on your phone and give kids a minute to do the following things. And then they just have a bunch of different activities. So do push-ups, jumping jacks, or sit-ups. Write your name for a minute. Say rubber baby buggy bumper, or ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Take off your shoes and put them back on. Just do anything for a minute. And then you'll close just by saying, so you guys certainly made the most of the time you were given. You did 80 jumping jacks or whatever it might be. God gave us all time here on earth, and so we're going to head to large group and hear about how God wants us to use the time that we've been given. So then you'll head over to large group with your small group and just make sure that you are sitting with them, helping them to worship, modeling what worship looks like, just engaging in the story with them. Then your review activity when you get back is called Number Your Days. So what you're going to do is you're going to split your group into 2 teams. 2 teams will probably work best for most of your groups. I don't think anybody will have that many. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lay these cards that you have out like that. So in a second, I'll go over and show you what that looks like. So then the goal is to be the first team to get all their team members through the entire day and onto the bedtime space. So what you're going to do is with each turn, teams are going to spin the clock to determine how many spaces they can move. And then they're going to decide the best way to use their time. So the number that they spun. And as a team, they're going to decide strategically who from their team is going to move along the game board for each spin. So the object is to move members of the team toward bedtime as quickly as possible, and they want to avoid the wasted time spaces. And teams can move any combination of people. So if they roll a 7, then one kid could move forward 3 spots and another kid could move forward 4 spots. Okay, whatever that might be. And the goal is to arrange your team's moves so that nobody hits the wasted time tiles and they want to hit the wise choice tiles. And if they land on a wise choice space, then they get to draw a wise choice card and follow those instructions. And if they land on a wasted time space, they draw a wasted time card and they follow those instructions. And the wise choice cards are going to move them forward. The wasted time cards are going to move them backwards. And then you might just have to like reshuffle those cards and reuse them throughout the game. So the first team with everybody on the bedtime space is going to win. And after a winner is declared, you're going to review the wasted time cards. And you're just going to talk about what choice you could have made in those scenarios to use their time wisely and not waste it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the game. So on the front, you'll see this. This is like a little setup for how to lay out the game. They should all be in order. In first service, just please put them back in order for second service. So then it's big game pieces, and then you'll have a little baggie that says wasted time, and those are the wasted time cards. And then you'll have a baggie that says wise time, or wise choice, and those are the wise choice cards that are in that baggie, if that makes sense. Okay, so they're going to play that game. What I would maybe do is I will get some little place cards, and you can write the kids' names, and they can move their little pieces instead of moving their whole bodies, because I feel like that's just going to get really congested. So I'll make sure that you have little cards where you can write kids' names, and they can move their piece that way. And maybe you can write one team, their names can all be in green, and the other team, their names can all be in blue. So then you're going to close by saying, so knowing what God says about stewardship and taking care of what we have because it belongs to God is important. And I'm reading the wrong part. That was a fun game. It's always a wise choice to use your time wisely and avoid wasting time. And when we waste time, there's consequences. So if we oversleep because we stay up too late playing video games, it's not that video games are a bad thing. However, spending too much time on video games and not getting enough sleep is a bad thing. And then it just kind of goes on and on to sum that up. And it just says, you matter to God, and how you use your time matters to God. So using your time wisely is a great way to show God you value the time he's given you. All right. So then for the memory verse review, kids are going to make these verse spinners. Hi, Stinky. And they're going to end up looking like this. So they're going to cut out this big card, and then they're going to cut out that little top card, and they're going to stick a brad. I found that it was easier if you stick the brad through the first and then stick it through the second. It doesn't go through both very well. So what they're going to do is they're going to get together with a partner, and one partner will spin the verse spinner, and then the next partner will finish off the verse from whatever word they land on. So if they see the word little, then they'll finish by saying can be trusted with much. Okay? And then you'll just sum it up by saying, so knowing what God says about stewardship and taking care of what we have because it belongs to God is very important. So one way to know what God says is to read the Bible. And that's why we spend time each week hearing a story from a Bible and talking about a memory verse. And the verse spinner you made is a great tool to help you memorize Luke 6:10. So this week, think about ways you can use your time wisely and spend some time with your verse spinner practicing that week. That verse, sorry. Then just to close, hold on. Then just to close, just challenge your kids to think of ways that they could spend time with God this week. And challenge kids to think of ways that they could use their time wisely. So maybe doing homework before they play video games, spending their time reading to a sibling. Maybe practicing a sport or the piano before watching TV. And then have them share their ideas with the group and then just pray together. And so that's it to close it down. So guys, don't forget to remind your small group that we are doing a Be Rich campaign in the kids ministry. So have them bring in their change. We want to raise $1,000 for Oak Ridge Kids Haiti so that they can buy books and school supplies and pens and pencils and notebooks and things like that. So $1,000 is our goal. So remind kids maybe spend some of their time wisely doing some extra chores around their house so that they can bring in some money for Oak Ridge Kids Haiti. So that's it. Thank you so much for serving this week. I just appreciate all of you so much. Thank you, and I'll see you guys on Sunday.